Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Metal Cooler Core event, which is the final or second to last stage of the Pride of the Fighting Saiyans, Spirit of the Fighting Saiyans and Pride of the Wicked Bloodlines event. So basically it's quite challenging. A lot of people are going to find it very challenging. I've tried to show a way that you can beat it without the AGL, LR, Goku and Vegeta unit, hopefully in a way that helps out a lot of players. So Cooler is a strength type unit. He, generally speaking, is pretty tough to deal with. He has a 170% boost against non-boosted category units, and he has obviously quite a few interesting things about him. Can't be stunned, can't be sealed, can't be attack lowered, can't be defense lowered. He also has an active skill he can activate, which is pretty interesting. So obviously what you just saw there, he also has a super attack as well. So double abilities, which is, I guess, somewhat interesting. But yeah, the main thing is he is strength orientated. So he's strength orientated and he's one phase. Now, there's a couple challenges related to him, one for beating him in 4 turns, and then there's obviously just beating him in general. This isn't going to be beating him in 4 turns. We're going to try and show people a strategy for that. That's going to make it a lot easier if you don't have the LR, Goku and Gohan. Goku and Vegeta. But yeah, to cut a long story short, the way the strategy is going to work here is we essentially are just going to continually delay Cooler forever. So in one rotation we have units that won't die, and we're going to use a Yama. So we've got a friend Goku and Vegeta, we've got a tech God Goku, and we've got whatever unit is floating. We're going to use a King Yama on those turns, because generally speaking they will be fine with that additional 50% damage reduction. I've gone for 50% damage reduction because obviously it is going to help out quite a bit. Then on the other rotation, we're going to always delay the opponent's turn. So we're just never going to be attacked when we're on that rotation. The general premise of it, or the nature of it, is that we're just going to delay the Cooler unit until basically we kill him. So we're just going to continually delay him. Now this works because we have a Paikuhan. If you don't have Paikuhan, try and find a unit that delays by 1 turn. Otherwise, what you can do is just hope for a bit of a lucky alignment with evasion and things like that. But yeah, generally speaking, that is the entire concept behind the strategy. So what you'll do is you'll King Yama, set things up. You will then skip a turn. You will have the strong damage reduction tanking rotation. You will use a King Yama with that rotation. Then you will skip a turn, ideally using Paikuhan's active skill first. Like you can see here, we're using Paikuhan's active skill. Then once you've done that, you will have your strong defensive rotation. They should survive, generally speaking, without a King Yama. Obviously there's a very off chance that you do die. That can happen. And then of course you will then come back and skip turn again. So yeah, lots of skipping of turns. Obviously because of that we're using items like the Ghost Usher, or the new Cooler Movie unit, and yeah, just or Cooler Movie support item I should say. And yeah, just generally we're kind of having an interesting method, I would say, of obviously taking out the enemy. So it is a bit of a strange strategy. Obviously watching it in action is probably going to work a lot better. In terms of unit builds, very simple stuff. So we've got the Tech God Goku, obviously because of his massive 77% damage reduction against movie boss enemies. That's generally okay for him to survive, even though he will take a lot more damage from a super than you'd expect because of the fact that there's a 170% boost against non-category characters. Then we have a friend LR, Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan, basically to do all our damage. So the higher this friend lead, the better. Ideally, you're going to want them to be rainbowed. If you can't, just get the highest one available. And yeah, generally fine. Then floating, we're going to have a combo of units. We're going to have Tapion, the AGL Tapion. His damage reduction combined with type advantage will make him more than fine. He will take a bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Then we have the lead that I've gone with. So I've gone again without an LR lead just to show people it can be done without the latest LRs. And yeah, that unit is obviously the Gogeta. So we use a Ghost Usher here, of course. Then we do have 2 of the boosted units, which is why I dislike the concept of boosted units. But I actually also literally had no better options. We have the Strength Piccolo and we have the Tech Vegeta. So Strength Piccolo, very straightforward. Unit with 20% crit chance against a singular enemy. Also gains attack and defense based on how many orbs he gets. Whereas Vegeta obviously has a high chance of critting and also has a decent chance at an additional attack. Then we also have obviously Pikahan's just a floating support, provides delaying abilities and also can evade. Support and evasion abilities dependent on orbs. And then of course I think that's pretty much everything notable in terms of like the team and the team build and everything like that. Transforming AGL Gogeta is obviously very good. When he gets his evasion in that going, can be very vulnerable early on, which is why all the skipping helps quite a bit overall. But yeah, that's basically it in terms of team build. You can see that it worked, fortunately. There were a couple of stages where we were obviously living a little bit by trial by fire, but for the most part the plan's very foolproof in a sense, because obviously the concept is a friend a lot does damage, and then of course obviously our concept is just simply that we're delaying turns constantly. In terms of the Yama up, obviously there's a slight risk that we die, especially if the wrong unit's caught by a super attack, but generally that doesn't happen too much. Well, it didn't seem to happen obviously at all this run. This was my 3rd attempt at this stage, 3rd or 4th, so there were some kind of wonky builds that I did that didn't really seem to end up working. But I'm sure people have come up with plenty of ways to beat this stage. I'm just basically showing something that's maybe a little bit more accessible to people. Maybe not, maybe is. It's just going to honestly depend on how lucky you think you got. But yeah, that is basically it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have the LR Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, you can use them, please do. It does make life a lot easier. I don't agree with advantageous boosted characters, but hey. Anyway, cheers and bye.